Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Hope you're all doing well. Ugh. And we can go ahead and cut that off there. That's fine. Hi, Castrated. Hi, Hawk. Oh, wow, you beat SiriBot. That's impressive. Well, look at that. We're at 66. We will easily hit our goal of finishing Black Mage tonight. Oh, are we playing this week, Hawk? Okay, cool. Well, you can put down the schedule, because we're going to do a schedule for this week. I'm going to send it to you after this stream. I may need a reminder, but I know tomorrow we're playing with Mimi. Miss Maple. Which that stream's already up. I know I'm going to cover the Total War stream on Tuesday, but I don't think CA is going to announce it till tomorrow. So we're going to have to leave that one kind of blank. Yes, yeah, we're playing Total War tomorrow. As long as their servers don't die again. Well, they shouldn't! The fact that they did in the first place is still absolutely insane to me. They had no business dying. Nice, and I have a completed journal. Okay, good. Yeah, we're in really good straits for today. Excellent. How are you feeling, Hawk, by the way? Are you feeling better? I know you've been feeling kind of sick lately. Oh, hello, dearie. But it's okay. If the servers do crash, we can just play like we can play more Dark Tide. Yeah, the big things I plan on doing today: get Black Mage to 70, and I also want to go run the dungeons I need to run in order to get the gauntlets that I want for my Black Mage design. Look, outfit, whatever. Yeah, today's been pretty productive. I went and saw Supergirl this morning. I took Lorebeards off to spend time with friends and family. Which was a good time. Because normally I'm busy on Sunday mornings. And then I actually had enough time to... Okay, well, I'm gonna finish these thoughts one at a time instead of introducing fresh thoughts. So I did go see Supergirl. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as Superman. It definitely had some weaker components. I liked the ending a lot, and I really enjoyed everything. But I wasn't like, I'm a very easy to please person. Like I can just turn my brain off and enjoy a movie and not have to worry about like literally anything. But that movie, I didn't like I wasn't super convinced by the little kid character. I kind of liked her at first, but it kind of felt like, I don't know, it was weird. I'm used to James Gunn doing, I don't know if he directed this film. I assume he did, but he may not have. But I was I don't know, compared to like the emotional moments of the Superman films, I thought everything with Supergirl herself was great. Like all the Supergirl stuff was super good. The flashbacks to her time on Krypton, where I think were done really well. Like those were fun. Well, not fun, but those were good. Lobo was awesome. The biggest fault I had with the movie is it didn't have enough Lobo in it. He actually has surprisingly little screen time, and I was like, what the hey? Give me more Lobo, please. Yeah, the little kid character, I just wasn't convinced by her story that well. Like, she kind of just was there. I don't know. I felt like we needed a lot more time with her. Because the movie, I feel like the movie tries to be like, oh, look, she's going through this arc. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. Like, it's difficult for me to, like, I have a really easy time connecting with characters, and I'm having a not easy time connecting with this little kid character. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt, it was not great. Have I seen Hiraki's new model? Yeah, I showed up for some of his debut. I couldn't be there for the whole thing, but I was there for a bit of it. Nice. Wait, stop. I just wasted potential XP. Yeah, definitely of like the new James Gunn universe, Supergirl I definitely think is the weakest movie. I think it's worth seeing. But it's not like Superman, I was like, this movie is amazing. Everyone should see this movie if they can, because it's like a fantastic return to form for Superman. Whereas Supergirl was like, it was okay. It was all right. I don't regret seeing it. I don't think it was a bad movie. I think the little kid character, I don't understand why they didn't have her hire Lobo. I feel like if she had hired Lobo, it would have made like way more sense. Apparently Supergirl was having a worse opening weekend than Morbius. Really? Wow. I mean, yeah. The movie felt like it didn't really, like, I don't know how the review scores are for it, but the movie, I don't know, it felt like it wanted to do something and then it just couldn't do it. Like, I feel like it was really trying to sell me on the relationship between the main little girl and Kara, and I just wasn't sold. Like, I was like, I just don't care about this kid, which is really rare for me. Like, I usually am super easy to hook with like emotional stuff. And I was like, I just like, you introduce this character to me and like, I don't get to spend any time with her, and then like an immediate trauma thing happens, and it's like, oh man, she's gonna go on this whole like revenge journey. And like Kara's trying to like convince her the whole like, oh, don't kill the bad guy, because if you do, it'll haunt you for the rest of your life. But like the bad guy is so fucking evil. Like the villain was good. I don't think the villain is like an established character from the setting. He might be, but if he is, I've never heard of him. I thought the villain was good. He's fucking evil as fuck. Like, he's actually probably one of the most sinister characters I have ever seen. Like, the stuff they have him doing, he's not like, oh, this guy's kind of like a bad guy. It's like, no, this guy's fucking evil. Like, he is awful. To the point that, like, Kara's, like, so, like, oh, we don't kill the bad guy because it'll haunt you for the rest of your life. But like, she's so dedicated to that philosophy that they end up like having a chance to kill him, and he gets away, and he brutally murders like these two parents trying to save their daughter in front of their daughter, and then murders the little girl, or she's not a little girl, but murders the young woman. And you're like, Jesus. Yeah, it felt like it feels like the thing that was weird about the movie is I feel like it almost should have been two different movies. Like, all the Lobo stuff, Lobo was fantastic and I loved him, but it kind of felt like the movie was like establishing him as a character so they could use him in other stories later. And I was like, oh, I was really hoping like Lobo was going to be chasing Supergirl throughout the movie, or the two of them would be like working together the entire movie because they like fucking hate each other. And like their interactions are great. Like, I really enjoyed their interactions. They were solid. I normally really like movies, and I don't know. It was weird. I thought everything with Supergirl herself was great. I think the little kid storyline just completely dragged down the movie. And like, I don't want to say that her acting felt really flat too. Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like, and I think they were trying to play her character kind of stoic. And like, it felt like they wanted the kid to be like this, I'm gonna go assassinate this bad guy, and I'm the daughter of like this super duper famous swordsmith. And I was like, oh cool, we're gonna get to see her like maybe murder some like random bad guys, or maybe she'll like learn to fight really well with the sword. Every single time she's about to fight someone, the little kid just like immediately gets her ass kicked. Like, just gets immediately annihilated. And then either like completely, like, she's useless. Like, she's useless the entire movie. Like, she kind of saves Supergirl at one point, but not really. And then I was like, oh, the little girl's gonna hire Lobo because she could be like, oh, I'll give you my father's sword if you kill the bad guy for me. And I was like, oh, that'll be such a perfect use of Lobo throughout the story, because then Lobo will be like an interesting foil to Supergirl, and you could kind of have this like interesting dynamic. Nope, they don't do that at all. Lobo just kind of like shows up, leaves, shows up, leaves, shows up, leaves. And it's like, all right. I don't, sure. Like, it's weird. I have never had a movie where I was like, this movie was not what I wanted it to be, and I didn't really have any expectations. Like, it got some laughs out of me. The emotional beats didn't hit as hard as I would have liked. And it was okay. But I would love to see more of Supergirl and Lobo. Like, I would love to see them in some sequels. Or like in more more movies within the universe, because I was like, oh, I really like these characters. I want to see more of them. Oops, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So anyway, so that was my morning. Oh, is Spider Noir out? I gotta watch that. That looked like it's fucking fantastic. I need to watch that. Movies these days are kind of mad. They feel like they'll... No. Listen. You cannot say that movies these days do not have passion. Like, have you seen Project Hail Mary? Project Hail Mary is god tier. It's so fucking good. That movie oozed with passion. Like, the puppeteering, the acting, the storytelling, like the emotional beats, the positivity towards like humanity solving unsolvable problems and confronting horrifying things. While that movie was incredible. Like, I don't buy the whole like, oh, movies these days aren't that good. Like, nah. Maybe, you know, yeah, sure, some movies have problems, but I'm not gonna, no. Project Hail Mary was goated. That is one of the best films I have ever seen. It's not one of the best films of this year. That's like one of the best films ever. That's a sci-fi movie that made my dad cry. And my dad fucking hates sci-fi because he just can't get into it. And that movie, like, got him. And I was like, damn, that's how you know. That's how you know this movie's, like, crazy good. Most of the movies I've seen are all animated, but not mainstream. Oh, that's fair. Well, I mean, for animated movies, the new movie coming out by the Lauka team, the guys that made Kubo and the Two Strings and Coraline. They've got their new movie coming out. That movie looks great. I'm like, inject that straight into my fucking veins. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Neverwhere or Wander something. What something? I don't remember what the fuck it's called. Which one is this? Vanish file window. Is this one like super far away? Oh, there it is. But anyway, so that's how my morning started. So saw that was a good time. Then got fucking Sadie, dude. So my dog Sadie is now clearly planning to challenge fucking Karanak for the role of Corn's favorite dog, because she caught and murdered another rabbit today. I had hope that, like, I was right with her because I could tell she was doing something. Like, I could tell she found something. And I was like, oh, what'd she do? And like, what's she getting into? So I went over there, and it was like an adolescent. It wasn't a full-grown bunny. Or it wasn't an adult. It was a younger one. So, unfortunately, it did not have the smarts nor the speed, because she kind of figured out where it was hiding, and it tried to break past her, and it almost made it out of the yard, but, like, the second she got it, I was like, no, put it down, But she must have, like, well, I'm not going to get into the super details, because I know some people get squeamish about I mean, I consider rabbits a little better than like a pest at best. They're cute pests, but they are pests. Because there's like infinite numbers of them, and they eat your plants. All I'll say is, I did try to save it, and unfortunately that proved not to be possible. So, but that's the second one this month Sadie has got. So, crazy shit. So anyway, that happened. And then, so I had to like clean up all after her, which was super fun. Like it wasn't like messy or anything. It was just, it's just, you know, it's sad when something dies. So anyway, I did that. After that, I finally, for the first time in like months, I had I was able to make enough time to play Wolfrup with my old party. Because I actually haven't played Wolfrup in quite some time, because we liked to play we like to play right after Lorebeards, but like a lot of the time after Lorebeards, I'll have like a meeting, or there's stuff to do, or I'm exhausted, or any number of things. So anyway, so all that shit happened, and we so I got to play again for the first time in a long time. So it was kind of fun hearing like what the party had been up to, like, you know, what sort of crazy adventures and other nonsense had happened in my absence. Especially because I tend to be one of the major, because my character is a witch hunter. He's mostly a witch hunter physician, essentially. So he spent a lot of time being mostly a witch, like just focus on the witch hunter life. But our party like didn't have anything close to a healer, so I was like, okay, I'll like spec into studying like physician stuff and all that stuff. And the way I kind of justified it in my head was that my witch hunter was so experienced and practiced with torturing people, and like knowing like how best to torture people, like how to cause them the maximum amount of pain and suffering, so he could like torture them for information, or, you know, torture heretics and all that stuff, because witch hunter is gonna do witch hunter things. But I was like, okay, if he, basically what I ran with was that he kind of like, he's a healer and a physician, but he kind of like uses that knowledge to further his ends as a witch hunter in kind of like a scary fucked up way, which I find fun and kind of like a surprise that catches people off guard sometimes, when they like hear about him as a character, where it's like, oh yeah, he's like really good at healing people and putting them back together, and it's like, but instead of it being like, oh, he's here to help people, it's like, no, he wants to make sure that like if he's gonna torture you for information, that he's gonna do it in such a way that it won't kill you, so that, you know, you're not gonna just die on the torture chamber without giving him information. Like, he's gonna make sure you stay alive as long as possible, until he's got everything he needs from you. But anyway, so we have officially finished part 3 of The Enemy Within. Unfortunately, due to my absence, I essentially kind of missed the finale, but we came up with a very good reason why my character missed the finale. Because, man, I'll say, so the part 3 of The Enemy Within is a supplement known as Power Behind the Throne. I'm gonna be honest, I did not like Power Behind the Throne. It was exhausting. It was genuinely exhausting. Because basically the entire thing is a very mysterious, it's political intrigue. So basically you show up in the, you show up in Middenheim, and there's like a big festival going on, and over the course of, I want to say it's a week, it's like 1 or 2 weeks, like it's a very short amount of time. You're supposed to figure out you're supposed to discover like what's going on behind this big political ploy that's happening, and the entire adventure basically revolves around running around Middenheim during the festival and doing everything you can to figure out like what is this person's political aims, and where is this person, and who is this person, and who is dating who, and who is secretly doing this, and who has been sleeping with who, and what might be the political reasons that this group might want these taxes to be passed, and what is going on with like this ambassador and what's he hoping to accomplish. So like there's tons of stuff going on, but it's like the entire upper court of Middenheim, plus the gangs of Middenheim, plus 2 different chaos cults that are large. So it's just a massive amount of like memorizing it. Like you're constantly taking notes, because you're like, okay, such and such was at this place at this time, and they were talking to so and so and so and so, and so was there talking about this thing that he was trying to promote, which means that he's probably working with other so and so. And also, so-and-so mentioned that he is actually related to this other person that we didn't know about. So we need to see if we could try and meet that person. And we have this other person, and we don't know exactly what their relation is to, like, one of the Law Lords. Which, by the way, there's, like, 4 Law Lords, but a lot of the information involving this political figure is deliberately designed to be confusing, because it's trying to sort of mix you up on like which one is the one you're talking to, and some of them are like just normal people that have like greedy ambitions, or they're secretly being threatened by one of the chaos cults, so they're like keeping a lot of information to themselves, and some of them are chaos cultists. Some of them, and so it's like all this stuff's happening. I shit you guys not. My group, and God bless my GM. God bless him. He's a very, very, very good GM. He's very, like, he takes fantastic notes. He's very meticulous, yada, yada, yada. The bad thing about it is that like a classic true D&D group, or whatever your choice of poison is, this adventure, you have a very limited amount of time to figure out what's going on. So like you have literally like you have like a week to figure out what is going on with this plot, and to try and stop all the bad shit that's going to happen before it happens. And because the story is so dense, there is literally like, if you're the DM running the supplement, there is like an hour by hour or 30 minute by 30 minute, like every 30 minutes breakdown of what every single notable character is doing, where they are at all these given times throughout these days, and all of these events. And what the fuck is this? Razor, can you shut the fuck up, please? Sorry. So there's like a million things going on, and you have to figure out, like, the only way to get enough relevant information to have any hope of figuring what's going on is you have to split up. Like, the party has to split up constantly. because there's all of these different events happening literally at the exact same time. So you have to pick and choose which ones you're going to go to. So you're like, okay, we need to go to this event because the Elven ambassador of the Laralorn is going to be here. But we need to make sure somebody goes to this event because we need to keep an eye on the judicial champion of Boris Todbringer. And we need to go to this event because Todbringer's daughter, Katerin, is going to be like appearing in public to do like a whole thing, which could be an opportunity to meet her. And then we need to do this thing to make sure that we are keeping an eye on this other character because we don't know if he's a bad guy or if he's a good guy. And like, it's genuinely interesting stuff, but I think in the 5 to 7 days it takes for in universe for the Mindenheim story to happen, I think my party has spent the last like at least 5 to 6 months IRL time of meeting every week, like once a week with very, very few misses, and each of those sessions lasting for at roughly 4 hours. It took us well over 6 months to get through 5 days. Just because of the sheer amount of density of information. Like just the amount of people you have to roleplay with, because you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to this thing and listen to who this person is. Like, you're like, no, I literally need to, like, I need to make sure I talk to this guy because I need to interrogate him about this other piece of information. So my goal is that I'm trying to get him to, I have to talk to him because I kind of have to see if I can get him to sort of slip up and say something that he knows he's not supposed to say. Or once he tells me this, like, piece of information, I need to then immediately go to visit this other group so that I can, like, collaborate or, like, corroborate that information. Say, like, hey, do you, like, know anything about this? Like, what's going on with this piece of information here? And it's just such a clusterfuck, dude. And it wouldn't have, I think it wouldn't have been as bad if,
Sotek?
and like, I probably should have done this a lot sooner. Well, sooner implies that I actually did it, but I never did. But I should have probably had a sit down with my GM and been like, dude, you have to, like, we gotta do solo sessions. Like, we need to have, like, we're gonna cover, like, from this time to this time with the characters that are relevant to what's happening, because it wore on me. Like, I was struggling in sessions, because you show up for a session and, like, you might basically get to do absolutely nothing because someone's having to deal with, like, a genuinely fascinating plot point, but it's a rather time-consuming plot point that is going to involve them, like, talking to a bunch of characters over the course of an entire opera. It was just like, I don't think it's designed well for, like, parties, which is the whole point of Wolfram. Because, like, I think the supplement is genuinely badly written for navigating, like, normal parties, because the sheer amount of information, like, I really feel like it should have, like, a whole thing in the beginning of the book where it's like, you basically need to get the schedules from your players of what their characters are going to do, and then you should basically say, okay, I'm going to cover the following events. And when I cover said event, it's going to be like a whole, like, when I cover the event, every person that has a character there for it will come to the session on X day, and we will take care of like this time to this time as those characters are relevant to that, and we will play it all the way through, and that will be that session. And that's something I should have had to sit down with my team about, and that's on me. Like, because like I'll be honest, I was getting exhausted for sessions, and then like Lorebeard's has been getting busier and busier and busier. But anyway, so unfortunately I missed the fight with the Changeling. So we ended up finding out that the Changeling was like the big bad that was behind everything that was going on. And I didn't get to fight him. Sad. But we did instead get to tell a different story, which was basically what today was about, which is like, what the hell has Albrecht Kastner been up to all this time, which is my character's name. And the answer turned out to be pretty interesting. But thankfully it is over, and we are now heading towards the Lorelorn Forest because while we were doing a bunch of stuff in Middenheim, several of us were approached by elves that were people that were represented by representing the Lorelorn, who wanted our characters to go to Lorelorn for like different reasons. Which my character was summoned by the Queen of the Lorelorn, Queen Mariseth herself. Even though he is like fucking terrified of elves. Even though he won't admit it, but he is genuinely afraid of them. But that's also because he once tried to interrogate I don't think I've ever told you all this story. This is actually one of my favorite stories about Kastner. I played Kastner as a relatively ruthless witch hunter. Like, he has a little... Yeah, Kastner, yep. Oh, Kami, hi! Hi, Kami, thank you so much for the 55 months. How are you doing? Kami, when are you going to come to, like, a convention in the States? You need to come to Offkai next year. You need to come to Offkai next year. But, anyway, so Kastner, I played him very much as kind of like the straight man, especially because a lot of the people in our party are somewhat goofy characters. Like, they have very rare moments of seriousness, but for the most part, they're kind of goofy. So I sort of play Kastner as a very, which like I like to role play to fill in gaps in a party. So like, if I'm in a party of people that are mostly goofing off and have like a hard time like focusing on the plot, like they struggle with like picking up key information, or they're bad at taking notes during the session, or their characters like tend to get like not maybe care as much about like certain kinds of plot points, those ones I like to when I'm in a party like that, I like to play like a pretty serious straight man character who tends to be like more obsessed with like political intrigue and the plots and stuff like that. Whereas like if I'm playing with a much more serious group that is going to have like really good focus on the plot, then I might instead play a character who is a bit more chaotic or focused on their own personal ambitions, and cares less about like what, you know. So like I like to sort of like find out what I think the party needs for like a more fulfilling experience, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. But anyway, so so Kastner, during this whole Middenheim crisis, right? So so shit's going down in Middenheim. There are plots, there are gangs, everything's on fire, shit's getting bad. We're trying to figure things out, and So my character gets some information, or a tip, that there's basically there's been like a character that he suspects of doing some stuff, like a person of interest has been seen frequenting a whorehouse in one of the like lower districts in Middenheim. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go investigate this. And Kastner, because I played him as he started the campaign as a like hyper devout Sigmarite that would prioritize fulfilling what he believed as like the mission, and being a faithful servant of Sigmar above like everything else. So like he very rarely drinks. He is very like you need to keep your mind and body focused as much as possible. You need to resist the sins of the flesh and the like things that deteriorate the soul, like obsessive or like addictions and all this other stuff. Especially because some of the characters in our party are like outright dangerous people due to their stupidity under the right circumstances. So anyway, but over the course of the campaign, we had a woman role playing with us, and her character and Kastner's character got very close to each other over the course of like 2 years IRL time of playing, because she was basically she ended up in some ways kind of becoming a conscience for him, of like sort of encouraging him to make decisions that were more morally just, even if they did not agree with the law. Which, if you're a Sigmarite, generally Sigmarites care... The Sigmarite faith has a major component about you must follow the law. Like, the law is just because it has been put in place by the Elector Counts and Sigmar, the Emperor. And the Emperor and the Elector Counts speak for Sigmar's voice. Unless they do something truly atrocious. And granted, my character was not as concerned with the legal aspects. He was very willing to, ignore the law to fulfill his own, goals, because he's part of the Order of the Cleansing Flame. So which they're, zealots. They're very zealous, people, generally. But anyway. So, Uta, which was this other character's name, she really forced him to start, questioning his morality, to start questioning his faith, because he loved her, basically, without ever being willing to, admit it to himself. And the reason that she's relevant to this story is that she had kind of been pushing him more and more to, open up and not completely, that there is too high a cost sometimes in pursuit of quote-unquote justice. And so so Kastner hears about this poorhouse where there's, information that he thinks is going to be critical, to the investigation. Oh, I got feathered to death. So he goes down there to investigate, and he finds out that the person he basically needs to talk to is an elf. So already he's kind of suspicious because he's a bit of a human supremacist, and by a bit I mean a lot. So he's like, all right, I'm not thrilled by this, but whatever. So he meets with like basically the highest quality whore, essentially, or woman of the night, who is this elf. And he's like, okay, I need to get some information out of this elf. And normally Kastner's originally his solution to the problem of I need information, I need this person to give me the information that I want, would that he would threaten them. So he was like extremely threatening, was very used to using intimidation to get his way, and relied on being terrifying and using torture to get info. But you can't always rely on that, and he had been kind of trying to make adjustments to like his interrogation style to make him less threatening. So for when he's in situations like this place where there's like active guards protecting all the patrons, understandably, and he can't just like walk in and start threatening people without getting thrown out or overwhelmed, and like getting his ass kicked. So so he goes in here, and like, so as I like to roleplay my characters, and I don't think of them as like, oh, they're Loremaster of Sotek. Like, I think of my characters as their own individuals. Like, I write up how I think they would act in certain scenarios, and I try really, really hard to roleplay them faithfully to the way I have built them up and designed their backstory and all that stuff, even if it causes me problems. So, like, if it's like, oh, it would be really convenient, or it would be really inconvenient for my character to stick to his morals in this moment because it's gonna like cause us problems, I'm gonna be like, well, it's gonna cause us problems. Like, because my character, like, he's mostly a human supremacist, but he's very respectful of dwarves because he's a Sigmarite. The cult of Sigmar holds very, very tightly to the tenet that dwarfs are always to be treated with like immense respect, yada 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 yada. But like elves, fuck them. Halflings, fuck them. Gnomes, ogres, all that, like terrible, fuck them. He's not a fan of them. But anywho, so he meets with this elf, and in his mind, he's like, all right, I gotta like interrogate this elf. I need to get information out of her. But A, she could be a very useful like mold for me in the future. Like, if I can get her on my side, if I can convince her that helping me is in her best interest without being threatening, then this would allow me to have like a really useful. This would allow me to have like a mole, essentially, like, you know, someone that can spy on the upper elites that tend to come to this part of the city, especially because at this point my character was kind of on a hefty side quest where he was actively tracking the Cult of the Jade Scepter, which the Cult of the Jade Scepter is a pretty famous Slaneshi cult, that if you're playing that campaign you will probably run into them while you're in Midnight, because they are a pain in the ass. So he's like, all right, if I can like get this girl on side, yada 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 yada. So he goes to meet with her, and he's like, all right, how can I play nice here? Even though this is a woman who does things that I like deeply disapprove of. So he's like, all right, I want to speak with her, and in order to speak with her, they're like, okay, well, you gotta pay for time, because, you know, like she's like one of our most highly requested ladies. She's not cheap, yada 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 yada. And Kastner's like, all right, I would like to speak with her, and I will take your most expensive wine. Like, to show I mean business, I would like to have a one-on-one session with her, but I want the most expensive wine you have to, like, for my conversation with her, to, you know, to show like that he's not just there to like interrogate, but he's like, hey, if you tell me the information I want to know, then you and I can enjoy this like really expensive drink. You'll have a good time. I'll learn what I want to learn. Everybody wins, right? And sure enough, this works well enough to, because my charm skill is not that good. My character is not very charming. So I'm like, all right. And this was good enough where she was, the elf was amused enough to be like, all right, I'll bite. So talking with her, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. Kastner, I had not designed as someone who drinks. Kastner very rarely, if ever, drinks. He's a bit of a hard ass when it comes to it. He never gets drunk. Like, unless there's a really good reason, like he's just trying to like completely wipe his mind of something like really, really awful that just happened, or there's like something just like, it has to be an incredibly special occasion for him to have more than just a couple sips. So when he asked for the most expensive wine, he got it, but the wine that he got was not normal wine. It was a wine called Elven Dream Wine. And Elven Dream Wine is like crazy shit. Like super crazy shit. And he gets like 2 or 3 questions in talking to this elf. And every time him and this elf, like every time he asks her a question and she responds and they're talking, they both like take a drink. And he's trying to kind of keep up with her. So his consume alcohol skill is not that good.
Protection of the crystal he
and
bears.
I think on the 2nd or 3rd drink, I go to roll for his consume alcohol, which is basically like how well you react to the alcohol,
Beyond
how well
mortal
you are
limits.
at like remaining
If
not
you
necessarily
are to prevail,
sober, but
the
like
hammer of
alert,
darkness must needs be
focused, and
brought
all
to
that
bear
stuff.
upon the
And
shield of
I
light.
get the mother of all critical
And so it
failures.
shall,
Like I
for the
get
ultimate weapon
a
is host to a power of which
titanic
you are as yet
critical failure.
ignorant.
And the GM's like, oh, do you want to like reroll that? Because like that's bad. And I'm like, nope. You know what? No. I
The
think this is
heart
actually
of
a
It
perfect
is the
opportunity
weapon's core,
for
an enigma whose surface
Kastner.
even the
Kastner
vaunted
wrote a
scholars
check
of
he could
ancient
not cash.
Alec failed to scratch.
So then we go to the stinking
magic
drunk table.
within has
And
lain
the stinking
dormant
drunk
for
table you roll on,
eons.
and it has a bunch of different, well, not a bunch, but it has like 5 or 6 different results.
What magic do
So I roll, and I roll the worst
A spell
possible roll,
without parallel.
which is that your character
Ultima.
blacks out for a random number of
I
hours,
sought the
and
life
when they
force of
awaken the next
primals
day,
for no other reason
they will have
but to
no
quicken the
they
core.
will have gone
For
and
the
done a
true
bunch of
power
crazy
the
shit,
ultimate weapon
but they will have
lies within
no
its
recollection
now beating
of
heart.
what happened. So
La Brea.
consider all that information
What
I've told
have
you
you
about Kastner,
done?
right? And Kastner has like
No more than was
secretly
necessary for my
been
God to be
growing
reborn.
extremely affectionate and like kind of falling for the girl in the party, and like grown very close to her,
The hour
and is like
is
interested in
at
her
hand.
romantically, but he won't admit it to
Behold,
himself
but a sliver
because he's
of
kind of
my
a ooh
God's
girls
power.
kind of guy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So Kastner blacks out, and we end the session there. So we end the session because my GM's like, oh boy, look at you figured this out.
The world shall tremble.
So I
Unleash
have some
Ultima.
conversations with my friend who was playing Uta, the girl in the party, and after some conversations to make sure everyone was cool with it, like everyone was comfortable with it, and it wasn't gonna make anyone uncomfortable or anything. What ends up happening is Kastner comes to, and he is basically in bed, completely naked, with a woman sleeping contently on either side of him, one of which is Uta, and the other one is the elf. the really, 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 like,
Such
famous or infamous,
devastation.
like,
This
high
was
tier
not
call
my
girl
intention.
elf from the
Oh, Heidelin.
the
It seems
brothel.
the task of keeping your
like,
champion alive
man,
has exhausted
man,
what strength you had
He
left.
was basically cast down into the greatest
Van
depths
Belsar,
of
your enemy's shield
violently
is
being forced to
broken.
confront repressed feelings. Like
The
all of his
rest
personal
I
problems.
leave to you.
Oh, it was so good, dude. It was so
We
good.
will speak
That like
Ascian.
where many characters would have woke up and been like, all right, my character had
But
like a
first,
fucking
I
crisis
must
of faith.
deal with you. The question of who is mightier remains.
Yeah, his witch hunter apprentice, because he had to have an apprentice to reach a certain
Let us
rank.
find the answer
The
together.
girl that was basically his apprentice, who like very much looked up to him as a mentor, walked in on them and was like, "What, heretic!" Like she was like so disappointed. She's no longer his apprentice. She ended up leaving his service pretty quickly after that. Because the whole thing with Uta made it awkward. Because Uta was always kind of like a morally questionable character from like a witch hunter point of view. Because she was a thief. And someone that like believed in fighting back against like the wealthy upper classes, which is relatively no-no for most Sigmarites, because that usually includes fighting against the faith, or fighting against the cult, because the cult of Sigmar is incredibly wealthy. Like she would just get up to a lot of stuff that was like, oh, that is so, you can't be doing that shit. But like the thing that like pinched it was before we got to Midnight, we had to cross the Midmoors. And the Midmoors, because we were taking the road from Altdorf, to Midnight. And when we were crossing the Midmoors, which is like this vast swamp region, we went into like a super foggy area where one of the Empire's steam tanks had actually gotten basically stuck out there in the marshes. And so we kind of went to go rescue it because it was like on the way. And what ended up happening is we ended up attracting the attention of and having to fight off the fifth beast of none other than Muna Mim, which Muna Mim is a Famir matriarch, which are incredibly powerful, ancient chaos sorceresses that are also like reptile monsters. Cyclopean reptile monsters. They're super spooky. And Muna Mim ends up kidnapping Uta during the fight and like runs off with her. So Kastner is like, oh my god, this is like my worst nightmare imaginable. A horrific, barbaric monstrosity of the ruinous powers has taken the woman that I've like deeply grown to care for, and I have really strong feelings about, even though I'm not willing to admit that to myself right now. So he's like, we have to do whatever it takes to save her. So we go after Uta, only to find out that Uta basically like the whole thing with Muna Mim, if you don't know Muna Mim's backstory, is that Muna Mim is, yes, she is this like horrifying, powerful, chaos adjacent entity, but in truth, she's like just incredibly lonely. Like she's this super old, very lonely creature that all of her family and kin and people and tribe, or clan actually, have been wiped out. And all she really wants is like someone to talk to. Like her story is very tragic. And of course, because she kidnapped Uta, Uta is, we'll say, open-minded. minded enough, I suppose, to like actually talk to Munamim and like figure out what it is that like she wants, like what she's after and everything, and befriends her. Like she ends up essentially like making a deal with Munamim where she's like, hey, if you don't kill my friends who are on their way here, and you agree to let me go, then in exchange, let me go for a little bit to like take care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of. Wow, that is a very cool limit break. Then when we're done on this little adventure quest we're on, I will come back and spend time with you, and I'll like basically live with you. So by the time we catch up with Uta, she has basically like befriended a big chaos wizard lady thing, and is like, no, don't fight her, don't hurt her, like she's not actually dangerous, whatever. Which for a witch hunter of Sigmar is like the craziest fucking shit imaginable. Like, it's like pure madness. It's basically like going to someone whose whole identity is that they hate bacon and then taking them to like meet like the most famous bacon chef on the face of the earth. Like just insanity. And Kastner realized during that incident that he cared more about Uta and her, because Uta was like, if you try to fight her, I will get in your way. Like, if you try to shoot her, I will stand in the way of the bullet. So he has like a whole crisis of faith moment, because it's either because if he sticks to the strictures that he has dedicated himself to his entire life, and yada yada yada, then the thing that he should do is he should shoot Uta in the head for being a heretic, and then he should kill the monster. And that's what his apprentice is like. Okay, obviously we're gonna kill both of them, right? Like, and I was like, oh man, I actually have to think really carefully about what my character would do here. To the point I actually did some rolls for it. Like, I basically did what's called a cool check, which is like your character's ability to like remain calm under stress and yada yada yada. So I did rolls for it and everything, and at the end of the day, after I spent some time to kind of think about it, I came to the conclusion that he did indeed value Uta more than keeping true to his faith, so to speak, which was kind of a deeply traumatic realization for him, because it completely changed how he felt about himself. Because suddenly he's like, oh my god, like, I'm not the man I thought I was, and that's terrifying. Which has kind of led him into like his whole storyline that I'm building with him now, which has been super duper fun. I don't know why I went into all that, but there you go. You know a bit more information about my Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay character now. I love playing Wolfram. I wish I had better energy for it. I hate admitting it, but I have found that I can often have a difficult time. I have found I can have a difficult time how many enemies are up here? It's just like a couple, right? trying to pry them off this thing. Okay, we got it. Nice. I was gonna be really sad if we lost that. It's like, this is on our turf. We should not lose this.
Tech 27 SSG X100. If you were given access to one of the rings of magic, which one and why?
Life. I would want. I'm a very, in a lot of ways, straightforward person. Of that, I would want the Wind of Life because I am deeply afraid of dying, but even more than dying, I'm afraid of my body, like, failing me in really, like, terrifying ways. Like, I'm afraid of the idea of, I'm afraid of the idea of, like, my lungs failing or just my body breaking down over time. And, like, having, like, a hard time breathing or a hard time moving and life just being, like, agony. And if or the people around me being in pain and not being able to do anything about it. And if I could find a way, or if I had access to the Wind of Life, it wouldn't be perfect and there would be struggles, but at the very least I could stand a better chance of, like, avoiding a lot of those things or alleviating a lot of those things. Which is probably, like, a much more serious answer than people want to hear. If I was picking it based on vibes, I would probably choose the lore of... I would probably choose, like, the lore of Heavens, because the lore of Heavens, like, I have a long history with the lore of Heavens, because as someone who played Lizardmen, especially growing up, I played Lizardmen almost exclusively for the longest time, and Lizardmen don't have access to that many lores of magic, and a lot of the time you would be, oh geez, I got insta-kill. A lot of the time, the way I like to design my lists, I would always have, like, a token skink priest whose whole reason for existence, I would always have this little, I would always have, like, 2 level 2 skink priests or 2 level 1 skink priests, and literally their only job was to show up with the Wind of Heavens and to fucking get Comet on them so I could spam Comet with, like, a shitload of dice, and I would just throw comets at my enemy the entire time. Like, I would be very tactical and careful with, like, the placement of my army and everything, but I would always have these borderline suicidal skink priests that would just run into the fray, and their only job was to cast Comet and then die. Like, their goal was to try and miscast, casting Comet of Cassandora, praying to God they could get it off. And because the thing that made Comet very unique was that it was the only spell in the game that had this really devastating effect. Like, it was like a really, really, really powerful spell that had a huge reach. And because it had this massive reach and it did tons and tons of damage, the thing that was unique about Comet was that if you cast it, a meteor, like a comet, would start falling from the sky, and there was no way to stop it. So it wasn't a remains in play spell. It wasn't like your opponent could dispel it, or they could, like, avert the meteor from hitting the ground. Once that meteor started coming down, that's it. The only thing you can do is try to get the fuck out of the way before it hits the ground. So because of that, you would just have like, I would just have these goofy little skink priests whose only job in life was to cast Comet and die. Just try their hardest to cast Comet and hope that it works out, and do their best to like dodge enemy shooting and like attacks. And they would be like really, really cheap characters too. And it was always so fucking funny. The amount of games that I won thanks to some asshole little skink priest getting in the back, like getting close enough and being like, "Ah, Comet!" Especially because it's basically like a board-wide spell too. So like this priest would be hiding most of the game, and every magic priest I'd be like 6 dice Comet, 6 dice Comet, 6 dice Comet, just hoping I would miscast, because a miscast can't be dispelled. Like a miscast can't be stopped. So if the miscast can't be stopped, well then you've got the fun of like, well, if I can successfully cast this spell with a miscast or irresistible force, then my enemies not only cannot stop me from casting the spell, but then the spell goes off and they can't stop that either. Like there's just nothing they can do. And I found that to be the funniest fucking thing in the universe. And I got some good mileage out of the other spells too. Back in the olden days, the Lord of Heavens was pretty amazing because it was one of the only ways in the game that you could create rerolls. Because you could do stuff like you could do things like you would cast a spell and it lets you pick a character, and you would get D3 rerolls for that character's actions for the remainder of the turn. Or you could do you choose an enemy unit and they had to reroll 6s when trying to shoot you, so like you would make the enemy less accurate, which was always super fun. So you just have all of like this bonkers, crazy cool shit. That was always a super good time. And the amount of times, oh boy, the amount of times I got a Comet of a Urian's Thunderbolt or a Forked Lightning, which were 2 different spells. So the amount of times I hit something with a lightning bolt and just blow it up. Hilarious. Hilarious. Never got old. Ooh, they are double teaming the shit out of us right now. Can I sneak around? No, they're backing up. If we can push them all the way back. Now, damn, Flames triple capped. Yeah, because if they're smart, they'll just keep us pinned. Yeah, they're fighting each other finally. You kind of need to just like, I feel like we should kind of just hide until the next like big thing shows up. Oh, they're fighting over it. That's fine. getting meteor. Ooh, I was not standing in a good spot. Hormesia, thank you for the super chat. Greetings, Sotek. Will there be some surprise Monday reveal of GW since this week is mostly the old world? Do you think we're gonna get more old world news for today? Maybe? I don't know. I feel like they kind of said everything they wanted to say. Because they didn't say anything about there being like more reveals coming for the old world, or like if they're gonna reveal anything else, it will probably be either for Chaos or like I can't imagine what. It felt like they really told us everything they're planning on doing. Wow, we won that by a lot. We won that by a lot. 69! Let's fucking go! I still haven't figured out how to do Comet. Like, I've tried putting Comet, like, on my roll and everything, and I have not been able to figure out how to use Comet. Like, that's the only really, in my opinion, kind of bad thing about the PvP, is I don't think the PvP, like, explains how to fucking do anything. Trial next if anyone wants to change. No, I don't mean how to use it well. I mean, I literally don't understand how to cast it. Like, I've tried putting it on my PvP skills thing, and it won't let me drag it down. And none of my skills seem to evolve into it. But the way it talks about it on the PvP thing is it talks about it like it is a skill. And I don't understand how it works. Actually, you know what I could see them talking about tomorrow potentially is it's a roll action. I don't know what that means. Like, I know it's a roll action, but like there's a button under the roll menu. Oh, there it is. I just can't read. Cool. It's always nice to know when you're just fucking dumb. That's great. You're expecting to see a reveal of more returning 8th edition goodies? That'd be nice. I'm curious how they're going to... Well, I guess technically none of the stuff we're getting is like new. Like, it's all things that currently have rules. But otherwise are like normal. So I'm curious if there's gonna be like a, because like so far based on what they've shown us for Chaos, we do not need a new book. Like the book that's gonna be coming out isn't gonna have any like normal new units in it, right? It'll have like kit bashed units. I would not be upset if they wanted to come out and be like, look, you can have a Chaos War Shrine now. Or you can have, like, you know, stuff that, like, existed in 8th edition. Like you just said. Stuff that existed in 8th edition, but would also make sense to exist in the old world. I will say, one of my biggest hopes is I really hope they do what they did with Age of Sigmar. I would really, really love it if, for, like, the Empire and the Dwarfs, especially, if Games Workshop would pull an Age of Sigmar and be like, oh, hey, we're gonna make dedicated ranges for these armies that make sense for them in this time period. And all of the war machines and weapons and stuff that, like, shouldn't exist right now will get, like, no longer will. So, like, you know, like like changing it so like the goblin viewer goes away. Like get rid of the goblin viewer. Replace it with something that makes sense for that era. You know, get rid of get rid of the organ. Actually, I'd have to double check the organ gun. But like get rid of the Hellblaster volley gun. Like the Hellblaster volley gun is supposed to be a modern, or is it the Hellstorm rocket battery? I think it's the Hellstorm rocket battery, actually. One of them is supposed to be like a modern invention. But the War Altar should not exist because it gets created by Magnus the Pious. So, like, get rid of the War Altar. Don't let people use the War Altar anymore. But maybe give them something for, like, I don't know, the Cult of Tal that's kind of similar, but has its own, like, unique flair. Like, I'd really like to see the Cult of Ulrich, the Cult of Tal, and the Cult of Sigmar have their own, like, notable identities. Like, I'm really hoping to see them lean in to the whole, I would love to see them lean in heavily to the Civil War in the Empire and really make it where, like, each of the human groups, the Empire groups, has their own, like, unique identity. That isn't just like, oh, it's the same fucking thing all over again. Wait, why can't I do this quest? What? That's strange. I guess I'll find out when I get over here. Oh, I went to the wrong place. What the fuck? What am I doing here? Sorry, I'm kind of tired. I thought I did Annex Shrine. Yeah, I just clicked on the wrong thing. The good thing about getting up earlier is I have more time in the day to do things. The bad thing is that when I do evening streams, my brain is like fried. Y'all can definitely expect less, like going forward, you're probably going to see significantly less night streams and a lot more like morning and daytime streams, because I'm really trying hard to be good about making sure like I'm awake and doing shit at like 7 a.m. Instead of, because the problem with like if my sleep schedule gets fucked up is that I sleep for like longer and longer and longer until I eventually like hit a reset point, which is just not healthy for me. Because like when my sleep schedule is like in a good place, it's like, oh, I can actually, like, I can stream for not only significantly longer, but I only end up needing like 7 to 8 hours of sleep instead of like 16. Ah, the good old Chimera. Probably one of, if not the absolute easiest fucking trial in existence. This guy's boring as fuck. And that's not to say there like won't be night streams. There will be from time to time. But there won't be like it won't be like it's kind of been at times where it'll like sometimes it like I have been almost exclusively a night streamer. but not. Because that's the thing, is like the night streams have always also been like kind of inconsistent. So like people don't know what my schedule is. I'd like to have a schedule that makes it possible to be like, I'm gonna go to a Loremaster of Sotek stream. And he's gonna stream at this time, so I know to be there. Wouldn't that be nice? Instead of it just being like a complete fucking toss-up if I'm gonna be live or not. Instead of it just being a goddamn mystery. Wow, I got like 0 elegant tomestones for that. Oh, that's because that does not give you any elegant tomestones apparently. Or if it does, it gives you very few. Alright, we got an alliance raid. Hawk takes 1,000 years to change areas. Can't be helped, you're a Slan. That's the thing that's bad though, is I can't help it. But also, like, if I could train myself to get up at like good, reasonable times, it also just puts other parts of my life in better places. Like, I get to spend more time with my family, because they're like all awake at the same time that I am, and I can like, I have an easier time like having meals with them or taking care of things around the house that need to get done. I can take way better care of like Sadie, because like Sadie, you know, Sadie wants to like get out and go do stuff, get exercise, be a dog, but no one else can take her. I have to take her because unfortunately she's just too fucking strong. Be fucking dangerous for one of my other family members to take her. Get away from me, evil tree. They're gone! Hey, Sion, good to see you. Have I started False Gods yet? No, I'm intending to start it maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping I can wake up early enough tomorrow to take Sadie on a walk. And if I take Sadie on a walk, then I'm going to listen to False Gods on the walk. Because that's when I do my listening. I listen to audiobooks when I take Sadie out to do exercise. Which it has been too hot to do recently.
Conchimachid, X100. Sotek streams is like a box of chocolate.
There you go. Oh yeah, I need to go do lotto stuff, that's true. Almost done with Black Mage. Yes, we are finishing Black Mage tonight. I am not going to bed until it's done. No matter what happens, we are not fucking going to bed until Black Mage is done. Which will mean the next time we stream Final Fantasy XIV, which will probably be on Wednesday. We will you know, have that done. And then we can do 4.2! Power outage hits? Oh, damn. Well, that fucking sucks. Oh, oh. World of Darkness, huh? This will either get us to 70 or get us close enough that I can, that I can do, turn in journal. I mean, we might as well do the normal rate. Why not? I hate this fucking boss. This guy sucks because I can never remember what he does. See, I have a brand of whatever on me. And this mechanic's just fucking dumb. Oh, I got doomed. That's not good. Oh, I'm about to die. Oh wait, unless I can make it to the... I didn't make it this time. God damn it. There we go. That arrow mechanic is so fucking obnoxious. Wait, I should have. Okay. You're not the real Queen Silo, which means you don't give me the good-looking armor. I actually like the 5-head dragon fight. This is pretty fun. You just have to keep an eye out for when his heads become, like, actually targetable. There we go. Okay. I wish he gave you like a cool set of dragon armor. What am I? Alliance B. Nom 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 nom. Cerberus is a decent fight. It's long, but it's decent. Gotta get eaten, thrown up. Is there a specific way to summon Karanak, or do you need to be on current hit list? He can be summoned. There was an incident where a gold wizard at the Gold College in Altdorf deliberately discovered a way to summon him so that he could unleash him in the he wanted to use Karanak to kill his rivals in the colleges so that he could like ascend, though it's debatable whether or not he realized what he was summoning. Yeah, technically any demon can be summoned. if you know the right, if you know like either their true name or if you happen to know the correct ritual by which to, you know, call upon them. It ain't easy. But it can be done. Just passing by to say another streamer I watched. Got a friend in Warhammer Fantasy via Total War today. We got another one. Nice! Well, I hope they have fun with Total War. Oh, sorry. I hope they have fun with Warhammer Fantasy, which is even better and even more important. IMO. Because we all know Warhammer Fantasy is objectively the best setting. Who's gonna be the one dumb fucker that always says X? There's always one. That was weird. I don't think I've ever seen her like change position before. I love being able to one-shot a Dark Cloud. That feels good. That's all. Oh, that was a lot of laser beams for very little oomph. Let's go. Oh, it's kind of a cool looking hat. Black Mage, my beloved. Why must I redo my heart pods every 10 levels? It's true! Come on, everybody roll in that goddamn hat. Bro, why is there still like so long in the hat? The fuck? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. They were trying to wait for me to leave because they wanted to greed the hat. But I wanted to need the hat. It's my hat. That's what I fucking thought. Come in here trying to fuck with me. Alright, last thingamajigger. Do you accept homies from chat for roulettes? Hell yeah, we do. Not just for roulettes, but also for potentially story content. When we're doing like story dungeons and stuff. The more the merrier. We are in desperate need of friends. Please come join our link shell. We are on Crystal Goblin. Shut up, Parth. All we need now is a Warhammer dating stim. My beloved. If only. God damn it, I'm teleporting! Oh wait, I should have teleported. Fuck! Regret! Oh, I'm about to waste so many tombstones. Ah, whatever, it's fine. Is Final Fantasy XIV a scheme to get people into Warhammer Fantasy the other way around Sotek? You know, it's kind of unclear. It's like a snake eating its own tail. The heart of the creator. This one's fun. Ugh! Nothing like, oh, I get to use Fire 4, finally. Fire 4, my beloved. I love when the game actually lets me use the skills I want to use instead of torturing me with low-level skills. Chugga, 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 chugga. Yeah, Fire 4 was God's gift to man. And the game makes me primarily level by doing things that don't let me use it, and it's truly suffering. Hammer time, baby! Cruise chaser about to cruise on these nuts. Oh yeah, I have ley lines now. Behold my improved casting time. Hear me. Hey, Velociblecko, thank you so much for coming by. I really, really, really appreciate it. I hope you'll drop by again in the future. Have a lovely night. Oh, shit. Oh. Okay. Do you think spookier than seeing like a giant object? An active time maneuver. All on it. Nope, somebody fucking died. He's got a shield! Oh, whoops. Bro, can you stop teleporting for like 5 fucking seconds? You're making my job hard! Let's go! Ba 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 ba. And now I can go to Hingashi. Oop. Would you? What the fuck is this? It keeps fucking with me. No, fuck off, Razor. I don't know why Razor keeps opening. So, quick question. I would like to get some specific gloves. Does anyone wanna come with me for that? Yeah. I think I've bought pretty much every set. Yeah, I have the tank sets. I have the Reaper set. I have the Monk set. Ooh, I don't have the Ninja set. Well, we gotta fix that. Cool. Okay, so to get the Dark Light Gloves of Casting, we can do Halatali Hard, Brave Flox's Longstop Hard, or Lost City of Amdapor. I think Lost City is probably the shortest. We can do Unrestricted. We're just gonna blow through this shit. Yeah, Amdapor, okay. So, we need Lost City of... The Lost City of Amdapor. Kill second boss and leave. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna turn in my journal after this. Hugh, good to see you, dude. I hope you're well. I'm actually much better at casting and moving at the same time. Hilarious. Stop there, criminal scum. Ignore first boss chest. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking for the Dark Knight Gloves of Casting. Is what we're attempting to seek out. That's the Dark Knight Bracelet of Casting. Not quite what we're looking for. Close though. Reset. Okay. Reset! Oh wait, is there like a... Actually, while I'm sitting here, I can go to Idle Share real fast. Hunting for the fit? Yes. No, I'm gonna get to 70 real quick so I can actually just get this over with real fast. Especially because this is a 2-line journal. Boop, boop, and silver certificate. Woohoo! Level 70! Let's fucking go! We did it! That's another career done. We're done. I just want these gloves because they're really, really cool looking. Ninja is so fast. You're gonna play Dawn of War Soulstorm? I wish I liked Soulstorm as much as Dark Crusade. Soulstorm didn't quite hit it for me. Choker offending. I don't want to be choked. Wow, ethereal manipulation is on a short enough cooldown that I can actually. No, she got a little too far ahead of me. Rip. Wait. No. No. Heavy dark light armor. That's not what we need. Come on, baby, come on! Heavy Dark Light Gauntlets, god damn it! We got gloves, we got the wrong gloves. Yeah, Hawk and Tank, if y'all want to dip out, like, we're not getting experience or anything. There's really no point for y'all to be doing this. Unless you want armor. I literally just want a single piece for the set that I'm building, and that's it. Because otherwise you are literally just wasting your time. I ran into a wall. I think it's slowed by something. Weird. Oh yeah, I think you do get slowed by Peloton. Because if you get into a fight, it slows you down. There they are! Let's fucking go! I got him! Thanks, y'all. Mission accomplished. Alright. Then I can buy the last piece I need for this set. Oh, did I just fuck up? No? Wait, what? Oh wait, you know, yeah, I did fuck up. No wait, no I didn't. Okay. Whew. I was about to be like, no, I bought all this armor and I didn't actually need it. No, I did actually need it. Okay. Whoo! That was, I was about to be very sad and a little salty. I don't have this set either. Nope. Okay. Well, I guess that'll be the next set that I am spending tomestones on, is the aiming set. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we can do the level 70 quests for Black Mage after I turn in this last Vath quest, because why not? But with that, we have officially leveled every single one. We have leveled every single A Realm Reborn job to 70. Paladin, Warrior, monk, dragoon, ninja, white mage, scholar, bard, and black mage and summoner are all officially 70 plus. Never again will I have to level something from level 1. Except for blue mage. That doesn't really count. And probably Beastmaster. That also doesn't really count. Alright. So from there, let's go do the, actually, no, I'll do that at the end of the stream. Let's go do the 2 Black Mage storyline quests. Blue is so quick to level, I believe it. Though, before I get too comfy here, I am gonna go to an inn. Because I want my drip to look good. I gotta real quick make myself look all fancy. Just have to repair like a fuck ton of stuff. Have a good night, Hugh. Okay, so now that I'm in here, that staff is really weird. Alright, I can do a little bit of quick research. Okay, so we got a new hat, which is we got the Demon Hat of Casting. How does this look? It's a little... It's not bad. Do I prefer this or the Crimson Hat? I mean, the Crimson Hat's a bit simpler. Let's try the Demon Hat. I'm not a huge fan of the colors, but we can always try and fix that. I think. I don't know, is that dyeable? No, it's not dyeable. It's a really big hat. Like, I think I kind of like the Crimson Hat's simplicity, though. Yeah, I think I prefer the Crimson Hat. Like, the Demon Hat, it looks nice, but I don't like the color scheme as much. And I'm not a big fan of the feathers. And, like, the upturned brim. I'm not a huge fan of that. Ah, I can do the King Slime Crown. So yeah, let's do Crimson Hat. If I could dye that hat, I think I could feel good about it, but I can't, so what are you gonna do? Alright, what are my options for this? That's kind of crazy looking, but no thank you. The Crimson Vest is pretty fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie. I think we'll run the Crimson Vest. The Crimson Vest is hard to beat. Like, that's a really fucking cool wizard jacket. The only thing I could see competing with it, in my opinion, would be the the Scylla armor, but I don't think I could. I don't think Scylla's dyeable. If I can fucking find it, there it is. Like, Scylla's robe is really fucking cool, but once again, I don't like the color scheme. If you could dye it, I think I could make this work, but you can't. Okay. And then for the gloves, we finally got the cool gloves! I should stick them in my glamour dresser real fast, actually. Got a couple of things we can stuff in here. Oh, whoop. There's a couple things we can probably put in here. The Crimson Hat can go in here. Demon Hat of Casting can go in here. King Slime Crown can go in here. Bug's Mug can go in here. The Crimson Vest can go in here now. The Vigil Robe. Darklight Gloves of Casting. Hell yeah. And the Wyvern Skin Gloves of Striking can also go in there. Cool beans, baby. What pants was I wearing? Those. Okay. Cool. Alright, so then I can do Cast Glamour, Glamour Dresser, and we want the... Darklight Gloves of Casting. So fucking cool! Oh, those look great. Those are fucking sick. I love those kinds of like finger hand gauntlets that give you like claws. Those look great. Alright, and then for pants... No, let's do feet next. The feet, I think... I'm curious about... We just picked up demon sandals. Of casting. Let's see. What do the demon sandals of casting look like? Ooh! I do like our red, black, and gold theme here. Slap those fuckers on. And then the pants. What do we do about the pants? We have the Crimson Breeches. Those aren't bad. Do we have anything else that jumps out at me? Summoner's Waist Clout. It's not terrible, it's not great. Sila's pants. Nope, too short. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Crimson again. Crimson set's pretty nice, honestly. That looks really good. Except for the weapon. The weapon looks stupid. But I don't think I have found a good looking... I don't think I've really found a good looking weapon yet. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's not bad. That's a decent looking wizard right there. Love it. Alright. The gloves are dyeable. I would not... I don't think I have an interest in dyeing them. They're perfect. How could you do better than just black? It's fucking metal, dude. What more do you need? Unless there's like a blacker black. Red with a black tip? Oh, is it 2 colors? It says it's only 1 color. Oh! It only changes the... Oh, you can do something cool with this. I still wish we had more varieties of red. Jet black. I mean, the tips kind of change color. Yeah, like, I like the ruby red, but I wish you could try metal ruby red. I say metal red. Oh, metallic. Ah, oh, that's it. Oh, it needs a dime missing. That's good. I like that. That's really good. Yeah, that's the color. It's very specific, but that is the color. And give it to you? I would accept that. Si, thank you for the super chat. Big milestone. 4.2 main story quests yet, then only 6 jobs remain. Astrologian, Machinist, Samurai, Red Mage, Dancer, and Gunbreaker. Then after Eureka and 4 Lords plus 4.3, you'll be ready to be leading the Shadowbringers. I know, we're almost there. It's crazy. Thank you, Alex. One day I will find a cool staff. Today is not that day, but one day I will. Yeah, those gloves look fucking sick. Those look good. Oh, hello there. By the way, if anyone in chat wants to be friends or get on the link shell, by all the gods that exist, come find me. Alright. Let's talk to Lala and see what the hell's on the up and up. When's the next meme review? We should do one of those soon. That is very true. We should do one of those soon. Alright, this is our second to last quest for Black Mage, so let's get into it. Dacarius, the moment you entered the room, I could feel the air crackling with etheric energy. Excellent. Your diligence and your training will surely serve us well. And you come at a perfect time. Now, moments before you arrived, Shitoto's voice called out to me from the recesses of my consciousness. She would have us begin to lay the groundwork for the final stage of her plan. As she made it quite clear that we will require all the aid we can muster, I've taken the liberty of reaching out to our beastmen friends. They have convened at Kazakh Char's residence at Burgundy Falls, where they await our arrival. Let's not keep them waiting. I suspect eventually I'll find better robes, but for the robes I have found in the game, these ones are pretty goddamn good. They fit my color scheme, which is nice. Red, black, and gold is what life's all about, baby. My friends, thank you all for coming together on such short notice. Mistress Shitoto would have you know that she is most grateful for your cooperation. In fact, I do believe she would rather speak to you directly. Well, it would seem the gang's all here. I dare say it's time we got this proverbial show on the road. Hera, tell me that you've made yourself useful since I last saw your vapid face. I, Lady Shitoto, according to my colleagues in the Eorzean Alliance, patrols have cited an increasing number of rampant golems afield. Fortunately, none have posed a significant threat. At least not as of yet. Which brings us to the matter of the comet. A colleague of mine at the observatorium has confirmed that it draws nearer with each passing hour, though there is no immediate danger of a collision if it stays on its present course. It is too close for comfort, yes. Fortunately, as is my wont, I have a plan. I simply hope that you, my friends, are up to the task. If the hero speaks true, the golems that have been causing trouble near the city-states have been more bark than bite, felled with no great difficulty by middling soldiers. From this, I surmise that the gems set within them, the soul stones, have been small and of meager power at best. And yet, if my theory holds, a more sinister threat lurks in the realm's far reaches, far from the prodding eyes of Eorzean and beastmen alike. This is where we must go.
Squawk! Perplexed Dozel is profoundly, deeply perplexed. My people, to do the work of people, are golems created. Travel so far from their master's domain, these constructs have no reason. True, is this not?
Well, I'll be a passably astute observation, but I fear your knowledge is lacking, my squawking friend. Golems come in all shapes and forms, and not all are wrought by the hand of a mortal creator. Often a gem of sufficient etheric power will attract all manner of matter, plant, mineral, and animal alike, spontaneously animating it and giving rise to new life. With naught to guide them, these feral golems rove and wander at will. It is these unpredictable specimens that pose the greatest danger. The larger the gem that serves as the soul stone, the greater the power, and the greater the threat when the comet draws nigh. It would appear our task is clear. Let us split up and hunt down these abominations. I shall join our beastmen friends and make for the west. I will leave the eastern reaches to the two of you. I trust you to be able to fend for yourselves. There is one particular matter I would ask you to investigate. My friends at the Alliance conveyed to me a most curious report, which Lady Shitoto's words just now put in a rather different light. Over in Gir Albania, in the hamlet of Alaganha, villagers have claimed sightings of, in their words, trees that walk like men. These have gone entirely uninvestigated, written off as the delusions and fantasies of superstitious common folk. But if Lady Shitoto speaks true, which I do, they are golems beyond the slimmest shadow of a doubt. Were we not, for Dalcaris and I will uproot them and reduce every last leaf and strip of bark to smoldering ash. Won't we, Dalcaris? I will leave the particulars regarding the means of destruction to the experts. I have, however, procured a link pearl that we might better coordinate our efforts. Pray take it with you. And with that, I do believe we are as prepared as we could hope to be. Let us be off, my friends. And remember, should aught go amiss, I am but a link pearl call away. Split up, gang. A device to allow that pretentious pudding head to talk to me even if I'm 100 miles away. Far be it from me to scoff at technological progress, but some inventions really could have been done without. Let's go blow up some golems. Tree golems. How interesting. While Mach has devolved into a vermin-infested bog, Albania is, if anything, looking more lively than I remember it. Not that that's saying much, of course. But look at me, getting all nostalgic for no reason. After all, my body has long since returned to the dust, and soon even my memory will fade. But before that, we have a job to do, don't we? I can sense no unusual etheric presence here, so let us venture a bit further into the field. Come along now, Darkarius. Yes, What do we got here? Oh, well, there's like a tree golem right there. Hello, boys. Oh, my chocobo should be here for the action. There we go. He'll miss out on valuable experience otherwise. Did you come upon any wood golems, Dalcarius? As you can see, these two had the misfortune of coming upon little old me. But that's not all I saw. Yes, it was a most remarkable and most horrifying sight. After I delivered a mortal wound to one of the creatures, I saw it extend a gnarled limb and, with the last ounce of its strength, try to rip the soulstone from its cohort's chest. Yes, it would seem these feral golems have no qualms about cannibalizing each other, which has led me to a quite frightening conclusion, to wit. Of all the... Whatever could that four-eyed fool want at a time like this? Yes, if you have something to report, make it quick. What? Yes, it would be wise for you to make a discreet retreat. We will do the same. I would reevaluate our options in light of these most troubling developments. Very well. I will join you at the observatorium shortly. Do gather all the information you can from your colleagues before I arrive. Gods be good. That hero has actually proven himself useful. It would seem he came upon a most startling scene in the hinterlands. A mass influx of golems of all shapes and sizes, as if summoned from all reaches of the realm by some unholy force. I have my own theory as to what this means, but I can require more knowledge before plotting our next step. One thing I can say is that we should immediately begin preparing for the worst. In any event, we must move, and quickly. You return to Burgundy Falls and apprise the beastmen of where we stand. I shall go on ahead to the observatorium, see what knowledge the astrologians have gleaned, and join you as soon as I am able. Yes'm. Yeah, it's just this, and then we get the finale quest. Good stuff. Good thing, too, because... Oh boy, it's been a long day. Good day, but long day.
Friends, comrades, brothers and sisters of the Black, we stand at the brink of a disaster most dire. Even as we speak, our foe grows in number. Beings of sentient stone and wood gather, summoned by an unknown force, and united for a common purpose. A purpose beyond our understanding.
Beyond your understanding, perhaps, but not mine. The golems make for some all. In Get Albania, I witnessed a most unsettling sight. A golem with an almost animal fury tearing into its cohort's chest. Disturbing as it was all too clear what I was witnessing. The creature sought a stronger soul stone, that it might augment its strength and prolong its own existence. But the power of these creatures seek is not limited to that which they can harvest from their own kind. No, they are forever in search of a more potent etheric source, and they have finally found one. The astrologians at the observatorium are confirmed my worst fears. The baleful star of our past slowly but inexorably changes course, bringing it closer and closer to this star. It is as Lady Shatoto says. The golems call out to it, beckoning it ever closer. According to the latest calculations, any further adjustments to its path, and it is all but certain to strike Eorzea head-on.
The baleful creatures would climb the highest peak in the land and summon the Mother Stone to bring disaster to our realm? Inconceivable!
And yet it is just so, my friend. Unless we destroy the lot of them, a collision is all but inevitable. And yet there are simply too many. Even if we could thin their ranks, they would regrow themselves and regroup in no time.
So we are done for! Defeated, done for!
Do not give up hope, my frenetic friend. Or do you forget that the most brilliant mind to ever work the face of Eorzea stands with you? Allow me to propose a foolproof plan. We do absolutely nothing at all. For now, that is. We know that the golems are feeding on each other in pursuit of greater and greater power. So why not sit back and let this process of unnatural selection take its course, till we are left with but a single foe?
Squawk out of our mind, Shatoto is! Were that to happen, a creature of untold power and prescience that golem would be.
Quite so. It would be the mother of all automata, the golem equivalent of yours truly, if you will, and by definition, one of the most formidable foes our realm has seen. Fortunately, I do believe there is one among us who might stand half a chance against such a monstrosity. Dalkarius, Lady Shototo insists that you hold, nay, you are the key to this entire operation. I am not inclined to doubt her, but I would hear it from your own lips. Can you say with all certainty that you would emerge victorious over this hypothetical golem of mythical proportions? Yes. Thank you, my friend. Your courage inspires me. Pray let me offer my strength, and together we may secure the future of our realm. I doubt Dalkarius and I will have much need of your services, but do feel free to tag along. It would be my honor. And with that, I should take my leave. I must warn the people of the nearby settlements to keep a wide berth of the Great Peak. Mayhap I will even have occasion to smash a golem or two on my journey. Howdy. Hello! What is that? Citrial Cassidy? Is that how you pronounce it? Hope you're having a good night. Color me impressed, Dalkarius. Your friends are proving more reliable by the minute. With that, I should return to this aquarium, for my grip on consciousness grows more tenuous by the moment. Pray return when you can and speak with Lalai upon her awakening. Control-Alt Cassidy. Ah, thank you. It is difficult to read that blue on my screen. That particular shade of blue, like, kind of just blends into the black background. Control-Alt Cassidy. That's what it is. Yes. Now I see it. I hope you're having a lovely evening. I hope you had a good weekend, too. Feel free to stick around and hang out with us if you're so inclined. Ah, Dalkarius. I've called out to Shototo, but to no avail. No doubt she is deep in slumber, gathering her strength for the battle to come. She did, however, leave a message for you. Slack not in your training, my puppet of destruction, for your powers will be tested as never before. That is not ominous in the least, now is it? In any event, I trust you will be up to the task. Let's go! Look at us. This goofy little collection of black mages. Oh, you do have the, yeah, you have the hat I was looking at earlier, but yours is dyed. That's cool. Is there a dyeable version in the, is it a PvP alt version? It's not the demon hat? I mean, it's not the demon hat, but it looks exactly like the demon hat. It's the exact same design. It's got the same feather. It's got the 3 gems. It's got the doohickey stuff. It's literally the demon hat. What hat is that? It is the Forgiven's Hat of Casting. Oh, that sounds like a dungeon set. Or is it a PvP set? Alright, here we go. Finale quest time. Dakaris, I trust you have prepared yourself well. Our foe musters at Annex Shrine. The hour of our final confrontation is nigh. The hero and our beastman friends are en route to the Forelands as we speak, and I would join them with all haste.
What are a few BS moments / events in fantasy, not counting the end time, that you think make no sense?
Give me just a little bit and I'll answer that in a second. Come as soon as you are able. Tototo will be awaiting your arrival. A BS moment / event in fantasy. I would say... Let me chew on that for a minute. Why, thank you so very much, Lalai. What with my corporeal form having long since faded to dust, it is an honor and a pleasure to see my legacy carried on by women, men, and beastmen after my own... Oops, was I just speaking aloud? You can stop gawking at any time now. Or have you forgotten that we have an army of power-hungry golems bent on destroying our realm to dispose of? Fortunately, I've already formulated the perfect plan of attack. You 3 will see to stragglers still attempting to scale the mountain. I trust you can handle that much. The hero, Dalkaris, and myself will scale the summit, where the oversized augmented agglomeration of golems surely awaits us. If I may be so bold, Lady Shotoko, I would offer a small amendment to this plan. Some all, as you surely know, is a holy place to all the dragons who call this land home. I am ill-inclined to wage battle without first obtaining a blessing. The elder Sitzia had told me that Dalkaris is a friend among their kind. Mayhap it would be best if he sought the counsel of this Vidofnir before we proceed. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's hardly the worst idea I've heard today. After all, it could hardly hurt to add another powerful ally to our ranks. What are we waiting for then? Lead the way. Well, we get to talk to Mommy Vidofnir. I love Vidofnir. BS moment in history. BS moment in history. An unholy menace doth gather in our midst, threatening to summon doom from the heavens upon this realm. Such is thy plight. I too did sense the presence of an intruder in our sacred home. At first I was content to observe, but the danger hath grown too great. Warrior of warriors, if thou and thine would take up arms against our common foe, thou dost have my blessing. Well, that's a ringing endorsement, if I've ever heard one. Hera, send word to our beastmen friends. We commence the operation at once. There's no time to lose, Dalkarius. Let's make for the summit and dispose of that abomination that awaits us before the comet gets too close for comfort. Alright, here we go. That do be a big goal. Understood. Pray leaves the rest to us. Lady Shototo, my colleagues from the observatorium has confirmed your suspicions. On its current path, the falling star will sail wide of us, if by the slimmest of margins. And yet that path shifts with every second, bringing us slowly but inexorably to the brink of calamity. Call it a hunch, but I do believe this imposing fellow might be responsible. Well, I'm glad to see that the obvious hasn't escaped you. At any rate, our task is clear. We need only reduce him to dust before he can summon his dear mother any closer. Well, Dalcarius, are you ready to stand alongside the greatest mage to ever live in battle for the very future of your world? Look sharp. This is our time to shine. Be strong, my friends. Our magics will solve your wounds. Well, aren't you a big boy? All right, I'll draw him to us. Let's cut him down to size. What's this? Look out, my friends! Something comes from above! A fragment of the comet? Whatever is happening here? It's absorbing ether from the fragment. Come back here, you oversized brute! Brace yourself, my friend. Again, it comes. Quickly now, we must destroy it before our foe can reap its powers. This is kind of a cool fight where it's just like raining meteors down. Again, I swear if I never see another of these stones again for the rest of my days. Yes, yes, yes. Less talking, more destroying. Hooray! The world is saved! Hopefully. Victory is ours. Only pray does not come too late. Perhaps if you had some black magic in your repertoire, but it is no matter. I have the utmost faith that Dalcarius and my efforts were not in vain. That light! The 12 have mercy! It is pretty close. We did it! Here it comes, and there it goes. And with that, my friends, I do believe we've been spared a most crushing fate. Stand tall, Dalcarius. You and I just saved the world. And I suppose I should thank you as well, hero, for doing a most remarkable job of not mucking everything up. And with that, I believe my work here is done. While I'd love nothing more than to stay and savor our victory a bit longer, all good things must come to an end. Don't look all sad now. With such promising protégés to carry on my legacy, I can go to rest knowing that I did not mother the art of destruction in vain. You have seen our art wielded for the greatest of good and the worst of evil. Having witnessed firsthand your prowess and the sheer strength of your resolve, I gladly leave the future of our art in your hands. Walk the path well, Dalcarius of the Black. So passes Shototo. That millennia from now, when we have long since faded to a dim memory, those who follow in our footsteps may yet wield their prodigious powers against any who would bring harm to our fair realm. Be proud, Dalcarius. Having shared a mind with Mistress Shototo all this time, I can assure you that effusive praise does not come easily to her lips. I can still scarcely believe she did me the honor of choosing my body as a vessel. Before meeting her in the flesh, in a manner of speaking, I had assumed Death's handmaiden was little more than a witch obsessed with fire and destruction. It would seem my impression may have been in error. May have been? Does your prudish, pig-headed prejudice know no end? As charming as ever, I see. I dare say you could learn a thing or two from your established forebear on how to treat a gentleman. Oh, is that so? I do believe I treat true gentlemen just fine, as Dalcarius here would know. Just shut up and kiss already. At any rate, we are done here. Let us leave this uncultured boor here to reflect a bit on how to treat a lady. Wow, Siri Bot just like instantly banned somebody. They didn't even get to try and comment. Well, it sucks to be that guy. We did it! We saved the world! I gotta say, it's kinda crazy that black mages are 2 for 3. So like, if you think of it as like from 30 to 50, 50 to 60, and 60 to 70, right? So like 3 arcs. We are 2 for 3 for our like tutor dying. Kukuruka fucking bites it, and then Shototo goes back to being dead. Like, damn, dude. Teaching black magic is it's like the defense against dark arts type shit.
Many golems did come to scale the peak, but they come no more. Laid low by our magics, the heavens too are calm. I trust your battle with the great beast ended in victory.
Just so, my friend. Not to boast, but even Lady Shototo was most impressed with our efforts. Is that not so, Dalcarius?
3 cheers for Shototo! 3 cheers for Dalcarius! 3 cheers for the art of destruction! Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
Far be it from me to rain on your parade, but let us not forget that the healer in your ranks played at least a small part in your victory.
Squawk! A happy day this is! Fly home to share the joys with his brothers and sisters, Dozzle. You will visit Dozzle again to share magical learnings, yes? Till then, friend. I too must take my leave. But know that even we are apart, we always stand as one. Till next we meet, my friend.
Bye, boys. I think they're all boys. I too must return to Gridania to deliver my official report. I suppose this is farewell, at least for now. Well, don't let us keep you. Though, I was wondering if I might express my gratitude to your colleagues at the Observatorium. On behalf of Mr. Shototo, that is. Leave that to me. I fear not all of my friends are so open-minded. If they were to learn that I had allied myself with beastmen and practitioners of the dark arts, there is no telling what sort of twisted rumors might spread. Fear not, Lalai. You have my words that as a healer and healer, I will do what I can to work toward a day when you and your fellows can stand proud and receive credit for all the good you have done. We gotta fight in the shadows to protect the light. I could not bear to say this in his presence, but our hero friend has come quite far, wouldn't you say? I too would do everything in my power to make that day a reality. And with that, I do believe our job here is done. Shall we return to this aquarium?
One golem to rule them all.
Welcome back, Dalkarius. Once again, I must express my gratitude for all you have done, as well as my profound respect. You have mastered our art to a degree that few of us will ever attain. While it is not like me to dwell on such matters, I was just reflecting on the hero's words. Once again, the truth of the battle we waged will never be known to those we fought to save. Needless to say, we do not do what we do for accolades or glory. We do it because it must be done, and to sate our own intellectual curiosity. And yet, it does not sit well with me. No, I cannot just turn a blind eye while the deeds of my friends and mentors are swallowed by history, never again to see the light. But the day will come that we can emerge from the shadows. Oh, when the day that will come when we can emerge from the shadows, I cannot say. But for that day, and for the eyes of all who would follow in our footsteps, I would put all I have seen to paper, just as Master Kukuruka once did. All what we have learned of our realm and the arcane, of course. But that is not all. I would write to the bravery of our beastmen friends, of a stubborn and self-important hero who against all odds proved himself a friend. Most of all, I would write of the illustrious founder of our glorious art, and the adventurer who she would personally entrust with carrying on her legacy. Why, I dare say the chapter will write itself. We did it! Ugh. Communing with the memory of Shototo awakens new knowledge of the black within you. Foul. Foul deals unaspected damage to target and all enemies nearby it with a potency of 600 for the first enemy and 25% for all remaining. And it costs a polyglot. The Enochian bar will fill every 30 seconds. The status is maintained. While the crystal at the bottom of the elemental gauge grows pink, you will be under the effect of Polyglot, which allows the spells Foul and Xenoglossy, acquired at level 80, to be cast consuming crystal. Neat. I'm going to put that down with Lightning. Also, I think it's time for Transpose to join the skills that are not often used. Oh, what's this? A staff? Whoa, that looks kind of sick. that's really cool. It's so funny that it's like a brutal looking harpoon almost, and then it's just got these cute little fire butterflies that come off of it. That is such like a that's such a hilarious like disagreement of style. That's very funny. It's just these cute little butterflies. It's coming off like a horrific looking weapon. Like, it looks like you could just rip someone to pieces with this thing. That's funny. Black Mage was very, very fun. I really enjoyed Black Mage. Thoughts on Black Mage story? How would you rate the Realm Reborn drops overall in order from best to worst? Okay, hold on. First, I have to. Current Shima asked a great question, and I have to think of at least a answer. The most bullshit story I can recall happening in Warhammer off the top of my head. There's a story I used to think was really, really bullshit, but I no longer do. Which was the story about the time the Dark Elves basically, like, tricked an entire Empire army into... Well, I kind of still feel like that story is bullshit. Like... No, like, I think elves should be very, very scary. So that story works fine for that. I'm trying to think of a story that makes me just like, ugh. Like, I'm just not a fan of it. I would say so. Okay, I'm not gonna count any Black Library books because there are some really stupid fucking Black Library books out there. I'm not gonna use anything. You explicitly said nothing from the end time, so I'm not gonna use any end time stuff. Probably the most bullshit story in the sense that, so yeah, okay, the most bullshit stories, honestly, this isn't necessarily a specific one, it's more of a category of stories. Most of the stories, okay, so there was a thing that happened in Warhammer, which is that one of the things that 7th and 8th edition really liked to do with their timelines, 8th edition was particularly atrocious about doing this, is that each of the army books wanted to show the armies in them in a very positive light, right? They wanted to show, like, the storylines within the army books being, like, super cool. And that faction is like, oh, look how badass they are, they're winning all their fights and blah 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 blah. There was a problem, which is that if you did not get a 6th edition was an edition where most of the army books showed the faction in question getting served slices of humble pie. Like, they'd win some, they'd lose some. And the world was very dark and gritty and everything sucked. And then 7th edition went in a more, like, epic fantasy direction. It was almost more of like an action fantasy setting, where the world kind of got better in some way, in most ways. But also everyone started kicking more ass. Bretonia never got that update. So when you read all of the army books, which are like the core literature of Warhammer Fantasy, something that you will see over and over and over and over and over again is Bretonia just gets shit on relentlessly. Like, there are so many stories particularly for the Demons of Chaos, the Warriors of Chaos, and the Dark Elves. They are the worst about this, but there's also some pretty bad stories for like the Empire and a couple other groups, where basically the Bretonnians just get dunked on, just over and over and over again, and it makes them look like a fucking joke. Like Bretonia, especially around the time of 8th edition, Bretonia looked like one of the most incompetent, idiotic, moron races, species, factions, whatever you want to call it, to grace the surface of the Warhammer Fantasy world. They were these backwards, insipid, moronic guys that would ride around on horses. They didn't wear enough armor. They didn't have any cool creatures outside of like they had pretty basic bitch creatures. And it just sucked. It just sucked. They just lost constantly. Like they'd have these like massive great defensive castles that would just get curb stomped by the Warriors of Chaos or the Dark Elves, the Skaven, the Greenskin. Like the Greenskins at least had a bit more of like a trade-off, but like Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings, the Empire, like the Empire got some really obnoxious stories, where like Bretonia would attack, and almost every time they would attack, the Empire would be written as just being like, oh, look at these morons coming at us, shoot the Hellblaster volley guns, and they would just like obliterate an entire Bretonian army without even trying. When from a lore standpoint, Bretonia is supposed to actually be pretty goddamn terrifying in a lot of scenarios. And if the way you're gonna fight them is that you rely upon like hiding behind a wall and using a bunch of artillery fire, the Bretonians are not idiots. Like they would rely on their menagerie of flying, quite a few flying really powerful knights, or like, you know, using their massive trebuchets that could fire a surprisingly long way. Like sending out the hordes of peasants to basically be cannon fodder to waste the enemy shooting before they would even consider charging it. And even then, they would have the Mist of the Lady to protect them. Like the mist should be rising up that makes them hard to see, and when people shoot at them, the shots get turned aside, because the Bretonians are supposed to be very, like, the Lady is a very active, powerful god who is supposed to, like, if the Bretonians take the time to pray before battle, she is supposed to reliably manifest to protect them. And literally everyone that wrote everything else would just forget that and just basically pretend like the Lady doesn't exist, and the Bretonians are just like regular guys that live in a backwards country that doesn't have any technology, and so they auto lose every single fight ever because they don't have any big monsters outside of like the Hippogriff, which is not that big. They don't have powerful wizards, which they do, but everyone acts like they don't. They don't have like super powerful soldiers, which they do, but everyone acts like they don't. They literally just act like they're a bunch of regular guys, but they're not even wearing, like, they're regular guys that are not wearing plate. They're wearing like mail at best most of the time, so they're like some of the least armored knights in the world. Like Bretonian knights look hilariously under armored in like some of the older stuff. Nowadays they look great. Like the new, a lot of the more modern art shows them being like significantly heavily armored, and like their horses are better armored and stuff. Like there's been more intention behind the designs of like the weird cape things, or the like outfits that they wear. But anyway, yeah. So I would say the way Bretonia gets treated is the biggest bullshit. All right, so Scion. thoughts on the Black Mage story. Great. Black Mage was awesome. Black Mage was the 1 to 30. So Thaumaturge was okay. Thaumaturge wasn't that crazy, but it was entertaining. Like it had some pretty good humor in it. So Thaumaturge was nice. It wasn't amazing, but it was nice. Black Mage though was like great pretty much the entire time. Black Mage was super duper duper good. Like it felt like a fun, impactful storyline. It had interesting stakes. The fact that like 2 of your 3 main tutors die, I think is pretty significant. You get to have some like really interesting interaction with essentially the white mages. It's good. It's really good. Super good, actually. I think it's one of the best ones. How would I rate them best to worst? So for the Realm Reborn ones, I'm not gonna count the Heaven's Word. So I'm not gonna count Dark Knight, because Dark Knight is not a Realm Reborn job. Best to worst, I would say it's hard to remember a couple of them. That's hard. I would say so this isn't the fault of any of the okay, I don't know exactly which of them is the best per se, but the top 3, in my opinion, were Monk, Dragoon, and Black Mage. I would have a really hard time putting them in a specific order, so I'll just say top 3 are those 3. Because Black Mage was super good on its own, which was very impressive. Monk and Dragoon I felt were awesome because I think they did a really good job of tying into the main narrative of the game. Like Dragoon ties in so well with Heaven's Word. Monk ties in fantastically with Stormblood. Black Mage was good on its own. Like it doesn't really feel like it's super a part of everything else going on. It's kind of its own little story, but it's a really, really good story. Below those 3, I would say White Mage is 4th place. Then I would say Warrior was 5th. Then I would do I think it's because then we kind of get into the ones that like Warrior. The initial story was pretty weak, but like Marauder was not great. And getting up to 50 was but like everything past 50 was awesome. Like 50 to 60 was super fun, and 60 to 70 was great. Scholar, I didn't enjoy the gameplay of Scholar as much as I enjoyed the gameplay of Summoner, but I think Scholar, mostly due to the 60 to 70 storyline. Well, actually more the 50 to 70 storyline. I think the 50-70 storyline of Scholar was really strong. I mean, Summoner was no, I would put Summoner above Scholar. So I would put Summoner in what, 6th place, Scholar in 7th, because Yasola's sister is a really fun character. Then I'd put Bard. Bard was... Archer was fun. I thought Archer was pretty good. 30 to 50 wasn't that great, but 50 to 70 was totally fine. 60 to 70 was particularly good. If I remember correctly, 50 to 60 wasn't awesome, but it was okay. So, and then at dead fucking last is Warrior. Warrior's the worst one by a gajillion miles. Sorry, not Warrior, Paladin. Warrior's top 3. Paladin's dead last. I was really disappointed in Paladin. It had a lot of potential. Paladin had so much potential, and then they just fucking dropped the ball. Like Gladiator was fine. It wasn't great. It was just fine. Gladiator was okay. Then 30 to 50 Paladin was awesome. Like 30 to 50 Paladin was so strong. It was so strong. 50 to 60 had an interesting story component. Like it had some interesting world building, but was really, really disappointing because it felt like it should have been deeply tied to the narrative, and it just kind of wasn't. And it's mostly about a character that just kind of pops out of nowhere, and I didn't really care about him all that much. And then 60 to 70 was fun gameplay wise, but was very like the 50 to 60 was garbage. I'll just say it that way. 50 to 60, it had a really interesting note about the whole aspect of like the soulstone, and like how the idea that they kind of like feed off of each other when people that have similar type of soulstones meet each other in combat, which is like a super interesting concept that is never touched on again apparently, unless one of the other jobs is going to talk about it. But it seems like it's something that should kind of be talked about on a regular basis. And then 60 to 70 was cute, but very empty. Like, it's like, oh, a tournament arc. Like, 60 to 70 was so weird because it feels like that's what 1 to 30 should have been. It feels like 1 to 30 should have been a tournament arc storyline, and that would have been great. Like, I think that would have been super cool to do a tournament arc for 1 to 30 for Gladiator, because it's fucking Gladiator. And then 30 to 50 should have been understanding the Paladins and their history as the Sultan Sworn. And then 50 to 60 should have been a story all about what happened at the end of A Realm Reborn. And it should have been about going up against the Monetarists and their assassins and them trying to take over Ul'dah and like putting them back in their place, and revolving around the return of the Sultana and like the deep guilt that the Paladins deal with. And then 60 to 70 should have 60 to 70 should have dealt with the deep guilt the Paladins have. And I feel like what they should have done for 60 to 70 is they should have had a different faction, either the Monetarists or it actually would have been good for a redemption storyline for the Monetarists if they wanted to have one, even though I think the Monetarists are fucking evil. But they should have had an assassination storyline where someone attempts to assassinate the Sultana, but this time the Paladins stop it. So like the Paladins get their redemption storyline revolving around all the chaos of the wars in like Garabania and Authored, and the Paladins like get their redemption there, or something like that. Paladin was, story-wise, it was pretty butts. Great class, all the classes are really solid. I think Dragoon is probably still my favorite of the... I don't know. They're all really, really good for different reasons. My least favorite to play is probably Scholar, just because White Mage is so much more efficient. Like, White Mage is just bonkers. Scholar is acceptable. It's not great, it's acceptable. Bard is super good. Black Mage is awesome. Summoner is not what I want it to be. It's fine. The Bahamut stuff feels really fun. Like, it feels powerful. The effects are super cool. The thing that hurts me for that class is I wish it did what it says it is. I wish it was a summoning class, and it's not. So Summoner, I feel like, is false advertising, and that hurts it. Because you're like, oh, I'm gonna play a Summoner character, and they're like, haha, no, you're not. Monk is ace. Monk is super fun. Dragoon is S tier. Incredibly fun to play. Ninja's great. Ninja feels super duper powerful, and you have a lot of fun things you can do. Warrior is incredibly kick-ass, and Paladin is incredibly efficient. So yeah, those are all great. They're all good. Like, I could happily play any of them, honest to goodness. But that is our time with that is our time with Black Mage, at least until the end of Shadowbringers. Our time with Black Mage has come to a close. So I hope everyone had a good time. I hope everyone had fun. I know I did. But man, I will say I am so happy I never have to level like a normal job from 1 to 70 ever again. It is a slog. It's not bad, but it's definitely a grind. So yeah, that's us done. I am very tired, so I think I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I have to see what the 7th Hell attire looks like, don't I? The Hell set. Hold on, let me see what this looks like real fast. Oops. So we got the 7th Hell hat, coat. What in God's name is that color scheme? Oh my lord, it's not great, I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Might be an unpopular opinion. I'm gonna say it though. I think this is ugly as sin. Like, this is ugh. I really don't like the giant boots. I really don't like the coat. The hat is okay, I guess. It's not great. I'm not a huge fan of the hat. Oh, that is I'm sorry, fam. That's an ugly set. That's a straight up ugly ass set. That's what the first Black Mage looks like. Well, whoever designed it has terrible colored, like, that is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Ugly, ugly. I do not like those colors. I do not want blue. I don't want that weird pale teal blue anywhere near that, like, pale yellow. Ugh. 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 You shut? No, it's ugly. It's ugly. I don't want to be caught wearing that nonsense. And then boots are too big. Like, listen, if you like it, good for you. But like, as far as I'm concerned, that is not it. That is not it. I'm glad they don't design their black mages like that no more. Cause like, goddamn. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. That's us done. That is the conclusion of Black Mage. And I am very, very tired. So I'm going to go to bed. In about 8-ish hours, we're going to be playing a Total War Warhammer co-op campaign with my buddy. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, well, whatever it was, it went out of my head. Oh, we're gonna be playing a co-op campaign of Total War Warhammer. We're both playing Nurgle. Should be super fun. We will be back with more Final Fantasy soon-ish. Probably. We might play more Final Fantasy tomorrow. Well, no, we're probably not going to play Final Fantasy for a little bit. Our main objective is to finish Total War Warhammer. Total War Warhammer's got to get done. The Colette campaign. We're so close to finishing it. So we're going to prioritize the Colette Sun Eater campaign until that's done. And then once that's done, we will be able to schedule the 4.2 stream, which I would be surprised if we don't do it in one sitting like we did 4.1. We might, I theoretically, we might not do it in one sitting, but I would expect we'll do it in one sitting. Maybe I'll try and get like a fun thumbnail made for it. That way it kind of stands out. So the next time we play the next time we do play Final Fantasy 14, it will be for 4.2, which will be exceptionally exciting because that unlocks, I think after 4.2, we can do the Four Lords storyline. So that'll be nice. We also are rapidly approaching the Eureka grind, which we're not going to do all of Eureka in one thing. I think we're going to do like half of what we need to get the White Mage weapon in between, and then we're gonna like level a job all the way up to 70, and then we'll do like the second half of Eureka. But we're gonna do it. All right. Cool beans. With that, I hope you all have a lovely evening. Simon, thank you for the super chat. And I'm gonna send y'all off on a raid. So I will see y'all soon for some more goodies. Take care. Have a lovely night. And good night.